to Full Frontal. I'm Samantha B. It's my favorite holiday, midterm election eve. I've got midterm fever so bad that I've got 2 shows next week. One on Monday to yell at you to vote, and one on Wednesday to yell at you for not voting. I'm just kidding. You're all gonna vote. You are all going to vote. This week has been one of the worst things I've ever seen, and that includes all these pictures of Chris Hardwick posing weird with his wife so no one notices he's shorter. Guess what, buddy? We noticed. Oh, imagine how relieved Chris Hardwick is going to be when he finds out I only joked about his height. It's your lucky day, you tiny creep. I've got other fish to fry. In response to the anti-Semitic massacre in a Pittsburgh synagogue on Saturday, the White House was quick to denounce the hateful attacks on the true victim, our president.
The very first thing that the media did was condemn the president and go after and try to place blame, not just on the president, but everybody that works in this administration. And if anything, I think it is sad and divisive the way that every single thing that comes out of the media, 90% of what comes out of the media's mouths is negative about this president. Just back the fight that the economy is booming, just back the fight he said he would fix the trade deals.
Despite the fight? Oh my God, is Sarah Huckabee Sanders in a fable about what happens when you lie too much? Careful, little Sarah. If you twist the truth, the devil will twist your tongue. Trump and many other Republicans reacted to the shooting by condemning anti-Semitism. Always nice when we can agree that some hate crimes are bad, but the truth is, the Republican Party tolerates anti-Semitism and benefits from it. Mainstream conservatives would never say anything negative about Jewish people outright, but there are other words they use, like coastal elites, globalists, Hollywood liberals, or John Leibowitz. And currently, the biggest, loudest dog whistle is George Soros.
Democrats, George Soros.
George Soros.
George Soros.
George Soros.
George Soros.
George Soros.
Soros.
Soros. Soros.
Soros. Soros.
George Soros.
Genuinely radical billionaire George Soros.
George Soros is genuinely radical? That just makes him sound cool as hell. Hang 10, Joso. George Soros is a billionaire investor and Jewish Holocaust survivor who created a charitable foundation called Open Society. But according to right-wing conspiracy theories, George Soros is a demonic, Nazi, commie supervillain who controls everything from world governments to when people poop. For real. A Campbell's Soup executive actually tweeted Open Society planned the migrant caravan, including where they defecate. Okay. First of all, as the purveyor of chunky sirloin burger soup, you are much more in control of where people defecate. Obviously, this guy doesn't control the world government. He can't even control his own under-eye bags. You can sleep a family in those things. The idea of Soros as puppet master was introduced into America's bloodstream back in 2010 by a dear, dear friend of the show.
If you skip past all of the puppets and the strings, if you stop looking at the puppets themselves, you have to see who's behind the puppets. Who is choosing the puppets and the players? Who's the puppet master? George Soros.
Who is behind the puppets? Who is the puppet master? Why do girls seem to lose interest in me once they've seen my massive puppet collection? This sleepy old Zadie is not a puppet master. He may be wealthy and influential, but he does not control the government, the weather, or anyone's poops, aside, I hope, from his own. But the idea of Jews as wealthy, scheming world dominators goes way back, farther than 2010. It's as old as Mike Pence thinks the Earth is. For example, everything people say about Soros was said before about Nathan Mayer Rothschild of the long demonized Rothschild banking family. Nathan was falsely accused of profiteering from Napoleon's bloody defeat at Waterloo, an utterly false smear that stuck to all European Jews for over 200 years. As we all know, the only people to have ever made bazillions off the Battle of Waterloo are ABBA. And so it went through the years. The czars of Russia, the Nazis, Richard Nixon, all of them found Soros-like Jewish figures to blame to consolidate their power and justify their behavior. Anti-Semitism isn't unique to the right, but right now it is shockingly mainstream in the Republican Party. Major elected officials drop dark Soros references constantly.
First off, do you believe George Soros is behind all of this, paying these people to get you and your colleagues in elevators or wherever they can get in your face?
I have heard so many people believe that. I tend to believe it.
They're called globalists. They like the globe. I like the globe too. I like the globe too, but we have to take care of our people. We have to. Globalists.
I can't help but think that the Democrats, perhaps Soros, others may be funding this.
And look at the background. George Soros is one of those people that actually helps, back these individuals.
Do you think George Soros funded the neo-Nazis who marched in Charlottesville?
Wouldn't it be interesting to find out?
You know you've got issues when you look at Nazis and go, seems Jewish. Unless you're thinking, hey, maybe this is the harmless kind of ethnic hatred. Remember, a radicalized Trump supporter sent George Soros a bomb last week. When someone spouts this bullshit, it's not an accident. But it's especially not an accident if, in addition to the dog whistles, you have deep foghorns of hate. During the campaign, Donald Trump posted an anti-Semitic meme of a Star of David next to Hillary Clinton. And later, Sean Spicer did whatever this was.
Someone as despicable as Hitler, who didn't even sink to using chemical weapons.
Those comments sparking an immediate backlash. Hitler gassed millions of Jews in concentration camps during the Holocaust. That forcing Spicer to clarify before the briefing was over.
I think when you come to sarin gas, he was not using the gas on his own people the same way that Assad is doing. There was not he brought him into to the Holocaust Center. I understand that.
Spicer apparently referring to concentration camps when he used the term Holocaust Center.
Oh my God, can you believe that Sean Spicer is just out in the world right now eating mayonnaise with a spoon? By the way, I know Trump has a daughter who's Jewish. I forget her name. She's never really come up on the show. But that doesn't mean he can't be anti-Semitic. His daughter is also a woman, and he sure hates those. Scapegoating Jewish people is an ancient, horrible tradition, and it is happening in our country. Republicans didn't ask their supporters to take an AR-15 and massacre praying Jews, but Republicans were speaking a language that shooter heard loud and clear. He posted conspiracy theories about Soros on social media, just like politicians, soup bosses, and even the president have. Anti-Semitic violence and vandalism have surged since Trump's election, and they are not coming out of nowhere. Trump has whipped up a xenophobic mob, and xenophobic mobs don't traditionally make exceptions for Jewish people, despite the fact that it hurts Republicans' feelings to hear that. We'll be right back.